All right, welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the number one grinder, one of the best kept secrets on YouTube. We read this out, and I'm gonna do my thing. Come and join real conversation with the number one grinder, us as the righteous one individually. Let's make a change individually. Let's make a change within ourselves. Genuinely, be there for each other. We all we got. Just remember that, y'all. We all we got. Now I know people say, "Who is this person right here?" This is it. Beautiful international Miss Melina. Yes, right. I got Miss Melina in the build. That's right. That's what you'll see. But what we're going to do, I'm gonna run a short intro, and I'm going to reintroduce her. So we'll be right back.
Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Yours truly, the underrated one, the number one grinder, the best kept secret in YouTube.
All right. Welcome. This is gonna be a beautiful chop up. So we're gonna ask this. Introduce yourselves, please.
Shout out, Brother Grinder. First of all, thanks so much for having me on your channel. It's a pleasure to be up here. And more importantly, the friendship I have with you throughout other channels, Uncle Mace's platform. Shout out, Uncle Mace. You know your sports, and you know your sports damn well. But you talk about topics that other brothers in the manosphere are afraid to talk about. And you have my full respect. It's a pleasure to be on here, and I'm really looking forward to ask you questions and have a chill chat tonight.
Yeah, and this is yeah, and I definitely want to ask. Well, what we're going to do right now, I just want to let you know, welcome, and I just want to thank you. Thanks for your continually support.
No problem at all.
I want to thank you so much because it's very. Sometimes some women they don't, but you, I
Yeah.
appreciate the compliment. It really is. You know, it's not about empower men,
No, not at
but
all.
empower people, families.
Yeah.
And I can see to you part of underrated family. So you know, I gotta make sure. All right, she look pretty, right? I know she do. All right, all right. Again, welcome to my channel, underrated Doctors. Tell the people where you're from.
Yeah, so I'm from Toronto, Canada, home of the Raptors, but also home of disappointment from the Toronto Maple Leafs. And we saw Raptors win their first championship. I went to the parade. I didn't go to the game, but I went to the parade, and home of the team that destroyed Philadelphia in the playoffs, but then got ripped apart by Tyrese Maxey. and Joel Embiid just last season. I'm from Toronto, Canada. I was born and raised here. I'm a massive sports fan, and I do sports media for fun. I'm a massive, massive soccer fan, diehard Raptors fan, and I support all my Toronto local teams. Although they disappoint me, like New York Knicks fans, like Brother Granda.
Yeah.
I'm a massive sports fan, and I like to do more tactical breakdowns of my teams.
All right. Shout out to brother Locast. Thank you, Commander Lou. What's up, Commander Lou? Yeah, Commander Lou said we're gonna do a chop up together, so that's gonna
Oh,
come.
that's gonna be good.
Brother, yeah, yeah, brother Mace in the
Shout
building.
out Uncle Maze.
Uncle Mace in the building. And let me explain to people before we continue. This is not an interview, it's a chop up. That means she gonna ask, she already let me know a few days ago. She got a question, so I had to like, but it's all right. It's a chopper. But before we continue, the parents living, siblings and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
so with me, actually, surprisingly, my parents come from Sri Lanka, a country below India. It's an island country.
Okay.
I was born and raised in Toronto, Canada, but my parents came to Canada in the early 90s. They actually lived in the UK first, and then they moved over to Canada for better opportunities, for jobs.
Mm-hmm.
At the
Mm-hmm.
time, London was really, really hard to live in. It was predominantly white dominated, and you already
Mm-hmm.
know back in the 80s how it was like for us people of
Yes.
color.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in council housing when my family came to Canada. They escaped the war in Sri Lanka that happened for 28 years. There was a civil
Mm-hmm.
war. And I grew up in like projects in Canada for a lot of my life. So my parents worked two jobs each to help raise my sister and I. My sister's 4 years older than me. I'm 25 years old, even though I still look like a kid. I hope I stay this way when I'm in my 30s. But I've learned a lot throughout life, throughout sicknesses that I've faced myself with heart problems. I have asthma. And I learned a lot of, no matter where you come from, never forget where you come from. No matter how successful you become, never forget the people that helped you along the way. And in Toronto, I really like it here. It's really multicultural. I'm used to it here, but I also love traveling. That's a passion of mine and a hobby of mine. Something I enjoy doing. I find peace in it and I find comfort in it. I love art. It's my talent, but I also love sports. I played semi-professional soccer in Michigan, in Detroit, Michigan, for 1.5 years
Really?
of my life. I tore my ACL. It was my dream to be a professional soccer player for the women's team. My mom never supported it. My mom was very, very strict raising me. She always said, stick to education, make yourself a future that we couldn't have. And
Mm-hmm.
they always tried to tell me to focus on school. And I tore my ACL, so I had to withdraw from semi-professional soccer after a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I learned a lot throughout life on no matter how hard it hits you, get back up on
Mm-hmm.
your feet and keep grinding.
Like me, great.
That's right.
Okay, okay, now before we get into I don't mm, I want to get it out there that Toronto Blue Jays, they won back to back titles,
Yes.
a long time ago. And I know you were very fond of that, and the manager was Cito Gaston and, African descent. And so I want to ask for your opinion. Why they don't put him up there as one of the great managers? Because you think about it, and in baseball, it's hard to win back to back
Series.
World Series.
And you know what? I think the reason why the Blue Jays never get enough credit is because of the players we had at the time. No one
Mhm,
really wants to give the players we had of color any credit. Let's
mhm,
be honest. And the media, before I talk about the media, there's a lot of Dolphins fans in here. They know how much the media hates the Dolphins. It's the exact same thing, Brother Grinder,
mhm,
with the Toronto
mhm,
media for the Blue Jays. They'll never give us credit, and they'll always say, winning back-to-back series in 1992 and 93 was,
mhm,
something mediocre. It's not something we should be proud of. No other team has done it before, and for us to do that so early on in the years, it's a massive accomplishment, but we never get enough praise for it. I think the only people who really care about it is actual Blue Jays fans who give credit to the team, win, lose, or draw. And I think, overall, it's just something that's forgot about, not touched upon enough.
Okay, cool. Now, I'm gonna say one last question. Not last question, but I'm gonna get this out the way, and then we'll continue. Why? It seems to me, now tell me from right now. It seems that of hockey,
Yeah.
I'm talking about Canada's always been the standard.
Yep.
No matter what level it is, it's always a standard. So I want to let people know. I already know a little something about something. I don't know everybody, but I know a little something. Now, I want to ask you a question of the hockey team.
Oh, God.
Why is a sudden decline of Olympics of Canada teams throughout the years? What do you think? What do you think that went wrong?
Brother Grinder, you know how you're a Knicks fan and you're used to seeing disappointment. Grinder,
Right.
I have never seen the Toronto Maple Leafs win a Stanley Cup. In fact, Uncle Mace, who's in the chat, was probably in diapers the last time Toronto Maple Leafs won a Stanley Cup and were actually serious. We have a team full of LeBron James who think they're better than the entire franchise.
Oh, I want to get into that.
Yes, I've gone there. And the team, forget the team, we have quality players. Maybe they're egotistic and narcissistic, you could argue, but the coach is absolutely awful. We're not signing the right players, and our players don't turn up in big games when it matters. When it matters, when it's the business half of the season, our players become a shadow of themselves. And it's an absolute embarrassment. I'm 25 years old, and I've never seen the Toronto Maple Leafs win a Stanley Cup. And I even went far to say this season, we're starting fresh. We're starting with a new season. Give the team time. I always give the team time to improve, to show me improvement, and to show me progress. But in the end, it falls on deaf ears, and I'm left with nothing but disappointment. I get my hopes up for nothing. And the board, the management behind the Toronto Maple Leafs, doesn't care. They treat us like a franchise, just caring about the ticket sales and the jersey sales for Austin Matthews, for example.
Got you. I appreciate. I'm glad you cleared it up. And my thing is this. Let me ask you a question. What you think about the Montreal Canadiens?
I can't stand them. I hate them. But to be honest, their passion for their team, they will ride or die Habs. PK Subban is one of my favorite players. And he really, really shined when he was with the Habs. The Habs have a legacy that they stand behind, and they can give it large. They can talk the talk because they've walked the walk. The Maple Leafs can't even do that.
Right.
Toronto, the Montreal Habs, and the rivalry we have with Toronto, they don't even want to be near us. They don't even want to be seen in our shadow. We can't even touch their legacy because that's how poor we are.
Right.
And Grinda, I want to ask you something.
Go ahead.
What do you feel about the Winnipeg Jets? How do you feel they're gonna do? And in terms of your expectations, what do you expect from the team this season?
The Jets, 8 and 9 games, just missed the playoffs.
Just missed the playoffs. So you're being dead honest.
Between 8 and 9 games.
I have Jets plans.
They're gonna miss the playoffs. They're gonna miss the playoffs.
Friends who are Jet fans saying they're gonna make the playoffs.
No.
You don't have.
If I'm gonna say it like this, the only way if they're gonna make a playoffs, they gotta make a run right now.
Yes.
That's the only way I can say, okay, I can make a run. But 8 and 9 games.
Granted, do you think this team is capable of enough to do it now when it matters, to turn up?
I would like to, but we got to understand we draft well 2020, 2021, and definitely this past 2022. It's going to take time. I'm never going to say it can never happen. If they prove me wrong, I can say they wrong.
You'll give credit when and where it's due.
But like what's that quarterback name? Griffin.
Yes.
He said he got the Jets win 10 games, go to the playoffs and just miss it. But I say 8 and 9 games because I believe It's going to be crucial games that the Jets going to be losing. Very, very close games. They're going to be in it,
Yeah.
but the finish it is going to be close.
But
And I think
that's
that's going to
where it
cost them.
really
I
matters.
think yeah, right. That's going to cost them about the last
Yeah.
spot of the AFC playoff spot, a wild card. That's what I believe.
All right. And the follow up question I have is, who is your favorite player that you've seen play for the Winnipeg Jets that you can relate the most to in terms of their development? And you can kind of take something away and say, this player inspired me in my life.
Which team?
Any team in hockey that you like, and you found someone that you felt you could relate the most to, and that inspired your life in one way.
Yeah, Miss Melina test my skills.
That,
I said the New York Islanders.
okay. That's
And I watched them. They the one that started the dynasty, as you know, back
yeah,
in the late '70s and go into the mid '80s. So I like Mark Bossier, and then the other people that I think a player right now I can't say, but Mike
yeah,
Bossier, he was the right wing, fast. Now the score. He always a 50 goal scorer and stuff. Always among the leader in this field and in his position and assists and stuff.
and good mental
Very
health, great
underrated
sportsman.
defensively too.
Great sportsman as well.
Great sportsman too. And so I said, what's to remind me? I gotta think on that, but
That's all right.
My boss, yeah.
Perfect.
Anything else? Or for now?
For now I'm okay. I have
Okay,
a
good.
couple other questions.
Okay, now we're gonna get into now we're gonna talk about soccer.
Yes.
Soccer. Now, I want you to tell people, especially because I know you talking about England all the time, in the English league. Am I correct?
Yes. It's the English Premier League. I
Right.
support a team called Arsenal. I'm actually wearing the retro kit right now from the
Mm-hmm.
90s, the 92-93 season. I painted
Mm-hmm.
a painting of my favorite player in Arsenal who's a midfielder. I want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about first Team USA players in the English team for certain clubs in London and outside of London in smaller cities. You have Aronson, you have Harrison, you have Jesse Marsh even coaching a team called Leeds. They're a lot smaller team, and these players, you homegrown them in the States, and then they move on thinking they're going to get better opportunities playing in the English Premier League, but in reality, it doesn't work out for them, and it becomes as a wasted talent. Or you could argue that, but this is just my opinion. Otherwise, I want to say back in the day, I started watching soccer when I was 4 years old. My dad and I, we support the same team, and it really made our bond stronger. Like father daughter time, it made our bond stronger. And back in the day, Arsenal Football Club in the early 80s and 90s was one of the few teams in the English Premier League that had the most black players. And that's why I said, look, I'm going to support this team because this team is giving us a chance. And in England, back in the day, ain't nobody wanted to do that. Nobody even wanted us in their yard. Nobody even gave our players an opportunity.
I'm glad that you brought in Miss Melina because you the first woman that said that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say why because there are women broadcasters throughout the years know what's going on and they refuse to say that. And I'm not
Yeah.
picking on women. I'm talking about women of color
Yes.
that covered the sport. They refuse to say that, and even men too. So I
Yeah.
want people to understand what Miss Melina is giving y'all. She dropping jewels on y'all that something go over your head.
Facts.
And you got to understand the significance how she said it because she witnessed it. I witnessed it too, but I'm just saying, understand that in the soccer, I'm talking about decades. If you any African descent or whatever descent that deals with color, you was not wanted. You have to play in the secondary team, and you wasn't not getting noticed. So when she was talking about Arsenal that had back plays, you got to understand back then that was heroic because
Yeah.
you got to understand the climate back then. It was very, very. I'm being nice now
For
tonight.
you to even get a trial at a football club as a
Yes,
black player was like hitting the lottery back in the day.
right.
And Arsenal Football Club is one of the top 6 clubs in the entire English Premier League. And it's a global fan base now across the world. You have fans from Africa, you have fans from South America, you have fans from North America, you have fans from other places of Europe, and you have fans from India, South Asia, the Middle East, all over the world. Arsenal and a team called Manchester United hate
Yes,
each other. They were rivals, and we always went head to head, toe to toe, and eye for an eye back in the day. You guys might recall Cristiano Ronaldo, a great
yes.
legend and a world class soccer player. He plays for Manchester United right now. He came back to them in the summer window. However, he's not doing as good as he was when he truly shined when he was younger of age.
Yeah.
But go on, Brother Granda.
No, no, I was getting ready to say that if you want to understand what Sister Melina was talking about, look at when Manchester Arsenal play in the United States, and you will know the ratings. Not complaining though, but what about a United States professional team?
Yeah,
Look, league, minor leagues.
yeah. And
There's a
Granda, we
difference.
can also talk about, the amount of investment. For example, Team USA versus
Mm-hmm.
English Premier League. The English Premier League gets a lot more funding from broadcasters, partnerships, sponsors, advertisements, revenue for ticket sales, merchandise, commercial revenue. But
Mm-hmm.
Team USA, it's still developing within America. Soccer is still trying to grow within America. Now, Granda, I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Uh, I want to touch on the soccer thing, but add a touch of football to it.
Okay.
Now, you know how they tried to make NFL common and tried to unleash it to England and it failed. Do
Mm-hmm.
you think if they were ever to do something like the playoffs, like an all-star type of game that we have in basketball, do you think that would work in America to bring soccer more popular in America?
No,
You think it wouldn't work?
no,
Can I ask why?
because America refused to acknowledge soccer as a major sport.
Fact.
They did not do the due diligence of the history of
Yeah,
sports, and understand this though too. Now I'm telling my age now. I when I was little, I remember the New York Cosmos. They almost got it right, but it was too many people with money grabbing. That's when Pele
oh,
was old and
yeah,
stuff like that. And they had great play, and even like they MSI they developed the indoor soccer, and I think that was out for like maybe 8 9 years. And New York Arrows, I remember they was like the prominent team. They played Long Island. They was no joke, beating team like 10-2 indoor soccer.
oh
But
wow,
I think that what America missed, I think that they dropped the ball of homegrown.
yes,
They never developed their own network in America, just as England. England developed their own network
within their home, yes.
and within their home. America did not want
America
to
just
develop
said
it.
we're gonna raise you like cattle, and then we're gonna
Yeah,
sell
they want to raise it, and then the players go
go
sweat.
to
Yeah,
Europe and give me the
but
money.
they never become stars.
Yeah,
So America, so you gotta understand them. They never put anybody that grows a sport that has the sock that know the politics of soccer. And then they miss the point that they always get it wrong. You know what I'm saying? You go, oh, we got college players and stuff. Oh, we got the semi. They not the same.
Or you're not using them to their full
They
potential.
not the same.
Well,
Yeah, come on,
yeah,
it's night and day of the skill set. We got we got to be honest here.
facts.
We got to be honest. It's night and day. I love I love America and everything, but I will not say no playing no soccer that play in this professional league here and go there. No, that'd be embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know, and I told people, do you know it's hard to get on the English get bad. I mean, it's hard to get in the league in
And hard
England.
to get selected for the
Get
first
selected,
game.
but even coming off the bench, I mean, like
Right.
y'all gotta understand. I'm talking right now. It's hard.
No, and there's oftentimes, Granda, I'm going to tell you this. There's
Yes.
a lot of talent for Team England that sits on the bench for no damn reason. And it's embarrassing and it's disrespecting to the amount of talent they have and to the amount of potential they have. If they were to go to another country like Brazil or Argentina, they'd be number one name on that team sheet.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah.
some managers are too hot-headed. They don't know how to use the player to their full potential. And I'll even go one step further. A manager like Southgate for England, he tends to play players out of their normal position. It's like you're playing a point guard in a different position and you expect it to work overnight. It's not going to work.
So let me ask you this question: Who's
Yeah.
your favorite player?
My favorite player of all time is a French African American brother, and his name is Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry. He is the number one Arsenal football legend, and he really, really touched me in terms of no one can touch me, no one can stop me, regardless of the color of my skin. I'm gonna shut you down on the pitch, and I'll let the pitch and my footwork on the pitch do the talking. And to see him play since I was a kid, although he left our club, he left to go to Barcelona.
Right.
He actually managed the MLS club for Montreal, Montreal, Canada, and now he's back in England doing coaching and stuff. And he was insane, and no one could lace his boots, Grinder. He was like the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was like the Kobe. He was like a Shaq. And he deserves a statue outside of our stadium.
I agree on that. We're gonna ask that question because
He actually
I
has
watched
one outside
it
of
myself.
stadium, and I think they should even create a shrine for him because that's how good he was. He is the reason behind our club's legacy, and he was our top goal scorer for our football club.
And matter of fact, he one of the few of the pioneers that make you relevant internationally
Right.
too.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember seeing like that. They like, yeah, they're looking at each other. We talking soccer. Yeah, I know
And
who's something.
everyone's shocked.
They shocked. They like,
They're like,
I know
what?
something. Yeah, but we gonna rely on Miss Melina expertise and stuff tonight. You know what I'm saying? But
It's all right.
yeah, but yeah. What's your favorite football? I mean, football team, American football.
Oh no. You guys
You're
are
not gonna ask you that now.
You guys are gonna shit on me, but we're doing good right now. We have a game next Sunday that I'm confident we're gonna be, and I'm a Cowgirls fan. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I'm a Cowgirls fan, and I'm a ride or die Cowboys. You know, I know every season they've been a disappointment, but right now you can't deny we're not looking sharp. We are looking sharp. We take on Philadelphia Eagles next week, and I'm confident, Granda. I'm confident we can get the win and call it a day.
Okay, cool. All right. Now we got that. I'll put tell you like this. Me, born and raised New York. I'm gonna give you but being in Virginia for 10 years,
Yeah.
there's a love-hate relationship between the Cowboys and Washington.
Yeah.
In the Civil War. And people say, how long this we going way back. This I talk to this person. This go back in decades, y'all. I see people actually get in fights.
They can't stand each other. Yeah.
They get in fights, y'all. I'm talking about I said that. So me in New York is all right and everything. Now,
Not as
what not?
big as it's not as big as the 49ers up against us.
In Virginia, Virginia's big. I'm telling you. Yeah, yeah.
Really?
But now, okay, that's your football now. Basketball team.
Well, Toronto Raptors. I'm a diehard Raptors fan. I actually went to the playoffs just last season when
Hmm.
we pulled a game back in Game 6 to avoid getting swept from Philadelphia. And I saw Scotty Barnes Rookie of the Year award
Hmm.
presented to him. I saw him live courtside. It was an
Hmm.
incredible game, and I saw the Raptors win their first chip. And hopefully, this season we make it to the playoffs. I'm happy with the players we drafted, and I'm happy with the youngsters we have. We're playing right now, actually, in preseason against the Rockets. We're looking sharp so far in preseason, but we do have a lot of work to do behind the scenes. Granted, I ain't gonna lie to you. Some of our players need to really work on their free throws, like Precious Achua. We can't be having none of that if we're trying to be serious.
Yeah, I tell you like this that like I said it on the Mace thing, so she knows I'm gonna say a thing. I like the young players the Knicks have, but I don't trust the coach, and I don't like Randall. Then I talking about Julius Randall.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't like him. He say he only can't stand New York.
I
I'm a
think he's
mother.
too naive, and I think he's too full of himself, Greg.
He too full of himself. Listen, when you play New York, you gotta have tough skin.
Yeah,
These people, I'm a New Yorker, so I'm telling you,
you gotta be
we
able to handle the different attitudes in the dressing room.
and
And if
he don't know how to do that. And then some New York
you
is,
lose your dressing room, you are done out here.
yeah, it is. So New York media is a beast. If you cannot have deal people, they'll chew you up. And
The thing
us as
for you,
New
yeah,
York, we know our sports. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? We know our sports. So if we see like what you said this, you walk in the
No,
street,
really important.
we on your ass.
Yeah,
But if you embracing everything and you say go home,
you take
ain't no problem.
accountability for the team, they'll actually respect you.
Yeah. But get back to the next though. Now I said this on Mace. I know you heard it. Mace said give them after All Star break. I ain't giving All Star break after New Year's. If it's a sub 500, get them out. I'm talking about the whole coaching staff.
Okay,
And
Brandon, let me ask you this though. Do you
yes,
really think, and you'll be dead honest, do you really think they'll get rid of Brandon?
I would like to,
But
but
you think they'll really wave the white flag and say, here's your check, have a good day.
I
I
don't
think,
think they're gonna get rid of
I think they're
Randall.
too, excuse my language, I think they're too pussy to do that.
I believe so too, and I think the coach got something to do with it. That's what I'm saying. Like this, if they're sub 500, Mace laugh at me. He said, "Grind get." He said, "You remember?" He said, "Grind get them." Also, no, fuck that. Hell no. If
You've
they
been burnt
sub
too
500,
many times. You've been burnt one too many times telling, oh, I'm gonna wait and see. I'm gonna wait and
no,
see this team.
no tips. Sub 500 after New Year's Eve, not New Year's, New Year's Eve. Bye bye. That's all right. I'm rolling with the young players. Then
Yeah.
Julius Randle, you gonna be next. And then wherever it is, we gonna roll with them. Yes. Yes. You gotta break it up because you gotta
And
do
I
it.
think
Listen.
Grinder, if you were to get rid of him, you have more time to find someone more experienced. You have more
Yes.
time to find someone better, and
Yeah.
more time to find someone who can handle the attitudes of these young players who are hungry to win.
You got it. They come on. They don't have no experience.
Yeah.
But you see when he start playing because let me tell you, Coach Ted's forced to play them young players because the other veterans was hurt. So he ain't had no choice. He said, "I
You
want to
have
play."
no
That's
choice.
a fucking lie. He's lying to you. Hey, he's lying. He had to play. But when he played them, we was winning games.
Yeah.
That you should have done that before. And then at the same time, I forgot, I think back in February, how in 4 games, how you could lose a league for over 20 points
Fair.
within 4 minutes and you still get smacked. But you want to blame the young players. But you cannot blame the young players because they on the bench.
Grinda, I want to say something, and I'm not throwing shots at the Knicks, but I'm gonna be dead honest. Udoko, it was his first season managing the Celtics, and look how far he took them.
I agree, but you got to understand this though, right? You got to understand. Listen to what I'm saying. Tibbs is a defensive coach.
Yes.
He's not a well-rounded coach.
Yep.
But he wanted to have his hands in. So this is what I'm saying. What he should have done.
Change your style of play.
He should have he should have get coaches that know the offense and let them work at the offense and like that. He's not equipped of being a well-rounded coach. Let's be honest. I mean, defense. Come on, defense. Oh, shit, want to top. I give him that. But to really run the team, he's don't because he run the veterans down to the bone, and some of them they career they can never recover. Come on, look what he did in Chicago, and also what he did in Minnesota. Come on, we gotta be honest.
Naive.
Yeah.
Granted, who do you think is gonna make playoffs in the East and West?
One or two teams.
I'm gonna say one.
At the East? I said Boston, but I would say Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, okay, Giannis. And in the West?
That's gonna be hard, cause
there's a lot
because the West got better. So I would say Lakers now. I just messed with you. I just messed with you.
I don't know what you smoking up there.
I would say Golden State because they defend champs.
Okay.
This guy go to Golden State. So
now, granted, Denver, if they stay healthy, you know what they're capable of. Let's not lie to ourselves.
Yeah, I understand that, but Denver got to get it done in the playoffs.
I think Denver will make the playoffs, and I think they'll.
I believe Denver will make the playoffs, but I'm talking about the top. I'm talking about the move deeper than the playoffs. They got to show me that they can get it done.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't put. That's why I didn't name Denver. The main thing
is, some players got to stay injury free, which is like asking to win the lottery. It's with Denver, it's like asking to win the lottery.
Right, Denver always get hurt at the wrong time.
At the wrong damn time.
So I cannot put Denver atop. But Golden State, they the champions.
But I'm not
so I got to put.
I think Denver got something to prove this season, and keep them. They're gonna be. Whether they're gonna be a dark horse or not, I can't say, but I damn well know that they got something.
But they do got the goods down. Let me I'm talking about offensively, defensively. They got plays can get it done. I'm just saying that don't get inch towards the end of the season.
Yeah, and don't crumble under pressure.
Don't crumble under pressure. You know, Yoki. I'm saying like this that you know, they got the good, you know, people say, but Denver gave so many. I said, no, you know, but they're gonna be okay. They be okay. I like Snyder as a coach. You know, he done. I listen. I'm not gonna say he did the, but he you know what I mean. So that's what I'm saying. Welcome if I didn't mention y'all in the chat, I want to welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Thanks for coming. And show some love to Miss Melina and show some love to underrated, show love to each other. Now we're going to get to the nitty-gritty and stuff. Now, you asked me a question. Which is your team coming out the East?
Out the East, I'm going to say the same as you. Honestly, I can't think of any other team that will come out top. Raptors, I'm not really happy with in terms of whether we will make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. I know it's different than your question, but I don't think Raptors will make it out of the second round. Maybe they'll make it the first round playoffs and then get knocked out. I'm not going to lie to myself and be deluded like these Lakers fans. I'm gonna be honest on who I think will make it through. In in the West, I'm gonna say Golden State.
Okay, Golden State. Now, let me ask you a football. Who do you think is going to come out the NFC and the AFC?
AFC, I'd love to say I love to say Cowboys, but I'm gonna say Rams again. And AFC, I'm gonna say Bengals. I think
Okay.
they'll retain it.
Okay. I know you want to know what I pick, right? I know, I know.
Yeah.
I feel. You better say
Hey,
something.
no
Okay.
bias here. No,
Nobody's okay. I would say out the West.
the Rams are phenomenal.
The Rams are from. No, I said I know not the West. I mean the NFC. Yeah, I gotta pick the Rams because they defend it, so I gotta do like that.
I think
AFC. I think the AFC is up for grabs, but I gotta pick one, and it's not really proven yet. But
Ravens.
no, Lamar Jackson. He got to learn to throw from the
No
pocket.
way, really? Yeah, he's one of my
I think they get to the playoffs,
he's
but
one
I
of my
think
favorite players.
I don't think they're gonna go. I don't think they're gonna be representing the AFC. But I say like this defending
How
AFC
do you
champions.
think
I gotta
the
go for the
Titans will do, Brandon?
Bengals, huh?
How do you think the Titans will do in the AFC? Disappointment.
I mean, Henry gonna get his yards and everything, but they gotta throw that ball.
Yeah,
Their defense is okay.
but it's not solid. Let's be honest.
It's not solid. It's not. They all right. They okay, but they got to throw the ball. They got to stretch the field, and I think they that do. I think they got receivers doing, but I think they go into the run too much, and then when you're a running back, when you get like almost 500 touches, in the regular season, it burns you out, and
Yeah,
throughout the years, you're not
you
gonna
don't
get
have the full match fitness too.
right. So that's what I'm saying that they got to throw the ball. They got to stretch it out. The only chance that they get to the
And for
playoffs.
me, granted, that's the basics. And if you ain't doing the basics, you ain't making it out.
Now you're not making it out, and that's the thing about it that we have to understand. The NFL it's a quarterback league now. It's a throwing league. So, and I'm not saying nothing wrong. You got to throw it, but the Titans got to be very creative. You just cannot just throw Harry. Yeah, he gonna break one to 80, 90 up, but what about you going towards you trying to get to the players, but you gotta rest him. You know what I'm saying? So that means you gotta go to your tight ends. You gotta do some slots and everything. You gotta take advantage of what you have. They got. I'm not saying.
You can't respect the opponent. Don't respect the opponent. Go
Yeah,
take.
yeah, exactly. They do got the players can get it done, but they just don't use them right. They just don't
Brandon, I
use them
want to
right.
ask you a follow up question, brother. And this is
Go
for all
ahead.
the Dolphins fans in the chat. I want to say, the Dolphins were off to a great start. Also, my respects goes out to Tua. May he have a
Mm-hmm.
safe recovery. It
Mm-hmm.
looks like it's going to be a career-ending injury. But for me, are you convinced from what you see from the Dolphins, or do you expect more from them? And do you want to see more from them so far? And I know you ain't a Dolphins fan, so I'm gonna ask you as a neutral, how you think of the
Or
Dolphins?
as a sports critic.
Yeah, just as a critic, how you feel about the Dolphins so far? Are you convinced? And Miami's ruled out Tua for a while now. We all know that. Do you think Miami got anything going for them now in the right direction?
I think they got a deeper problem that they I think some of them are delusional.
Yeah,
I think that you still got that cloud over the owner Ross
correct.
that the NFL that people is not they're not talking about that over here. But I do it got the players and stuff. But I think that if they want to make a run to the playoffs, they better get it done now because there is a division of the players,
Correct.
and it's
Me
not good.
personally,
Huh?
I think the Dolphins are doing well so far, but I want to see consistency and continuity.
I think that's the key. The players got to get together and bring consistency.
Yes,
And that's the thing about, but it's divided now because they talking about this quarterback, or they talking about this player, and that is not good at this time of the year of the football when you have division and stuff. But
yes.
do I believe that the Dolphins can get to the playoffs? Yeah, but it's got to be up to them.
How well they,
It's got to be up to
how
them.
well do they want it? How well do the players want it?
Right? It's got to be up to them because it's there. You see, they lost the Buffalo. They
They,
just lost the
yeah,
Buffalo. They just lost. They could have beat Buffalo.
damn right.
They could be Buffalo, but again, did you see the little wanton dysfunction? You cannot have that, And so they could get I'm telling you, they could make some move in the AFC. They because they do got a
They
pretty good
have the
defense.
potential. They have the good defense. They have a solid
They are
defense.
pretty good. They got a pretty good defense. It's
Yeah.
just that now they got it. They got the
Sometimes
players.
I
They got
feel
the
like
skill.
they don't even take themselves seriously. I feel like they're respecting the opponent way too much. Now they do take on Vikings next week. I think they'll get the W. If I'm being honest, I think they'll take the W. Granted, you're shaking your head. You really don't think so, bro? Really? Damn.
Down, but the Dolphins' problem is don't look over the Jets. They because some of them they look, oh, we want to play the Vikings next week. No, you play what's in front of you now.
Yeah, you can only play what's in front of you
But
right now.
I still say Minnesota's a tough out. I think Minnesota is one of the underrated teams in the NFC.
Damn,
I think they got something to prove too.
that's a bold claim.
Yeah, Minnesota is solid. They solid. That I think that their offense could get more creative. Yes, but they solid, and then But I'm just saying, Miami, you got to worry about the Jets. Don't look past.
The reason I'm laughing is because I know you're a Jets fan. You support
Well,
the Jets, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Grinda, I have one more question I want to ask you.
They,
Uh,
they, they have to be no one more
and this
question.
is like, more so acting and comedy, and I want to hear more.
Okay.
I want to hear more of, Grinda's life. I want to hear more of, back in the day, what was your favorite movie that you could watch again now that you would really love?
Ooh, wow. Oh, before we continue, do you want to take questions?
Oh yeah, I don't mind. Oh,
Okay.
but one sec. If you're gonna ask a question, you better have liked the damn stream, subscribe to Brother Granda's channel,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
it would be greatly appreciated if you can hit up his Cash App and show some love and support. He's always up here talking facts, and I love when he does the UFC. Nice to see that as well. He does do the Instagram lives. Granda, I ain't seen you done one in a minute in
I'm
Instagram.
gonna get back on it.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the question again?
I said back in the day, when you used to watch movies growing up, like Scarface, those kind of movies, what's the movie that
Ooh.
you could rewatch over and over again, but it wouldn't bore you out?
Oh, one of it is Scarface, and it's
Yeah.
going to be funny. The next one,
Comedy, yeah.
Waterboy.
Oh, wow. But Scarface is a really good film. That's one of my favorites.
Sure, I love
I
Scarface.
like the Godfather trilogy too. Scarface is something that
Yeah,
really taught us, people of color, to hustle and to get on the grind.
yeah. I
Um,
like and yeah. There's quite a few movies. Let's see, but Waterboy, I could watch. Cause see, one thing about Waterboy that I respect, cause he stood up for himself.
yeah.
He stood to his mom. Listen, I'm a grown man now, and then he
Humble
got the lady. They got the lady. She was fast, but then went in and stuff like that. I like movies like that. So I think Al Sandler. I think very underrated. Very underrated. I think he's very underrated of directing and stuff. So I always saw Waterboy. Waterboy is one of my
Your
favorites.
favorite films.
Yeah.
And what about your favorite food?
Yeah, I cook, so I cook
Oh,
Jamaican,
you
I cook
cook.
Puerto Rican, I
Hey, Chef
cook
Brandon.
fat, I cook. You know, hey, I ain't mean to brag. You know, I'm kind of nice. I'm nice with these. You know, what I'm saying that's one of my talents. But my favorite meal, mm, favorite meal, homemade mac and cheese, homemade candy yams, collard greens, or fried cabbage,
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Jiffy
So
cornbread.
this is a part one to my second question. My second question is it's actually gonna be kind of a funny question. More so,
Okay.
if you could have a sit down meal with a rival of the Knicks, and it would be your favorite food, you'd have it with a player of the rivals of the Knicks. Who would it be and why? And you can't shy away from the question. So
It
if
could be
you could have a sit down
it could be
meal with
any era.
any player in any era,
Okay.
I actually want to hear current. I want to hear right now. Who would it be?
Oh, current. We go with current.
And I want to hear any as well. I want to hear two. So current right now and before. But a rival of the Knicks, you would have a sit down
Uh,
dinner with,
uh,
and it has
uh,
to be a player.
R.J. Barrett.
And oh, that's a great answer. And what about past?
What about who?
What about current?
That's current. R.J. Barrett.
And in the past, in the present,
In
past
the
means like back in the day
past,
or like overall.
Mark Jackson, New
Damn.
Yorker, Brooklyn.
Yeah. The thing is, granted, I didn't even know till like recently that you were from New York originally. I didn't know
Yes,
that.
I was. Yeah.
New Yorkers, they take their sports literally, and if
Mm-hmm.
you can't talk to a New Yorker about sports, retire from sports. Retire from sports media, retire from watching sports, turn off your TV, cancel your cable, and go home. Don't embarrass yourself in front of a New Yorker. New Yorkers take their sports seriously and they hold their teams accountable. And that's what we need to see from a lot more of these states and even in Canada. In Canada, we don't take our players accountable. We say, oh, let them be. It's just a one off. It's just a one off. Every season, oh, it's just a one off.
Yeah, it's very serious in New York because you can go to certain games or any sport.
Highest
There you go.
ticket.
Their whole family members got jerseys, hat, and everything. Yeah, it's serious.
Yeah.
People don't understand. Yo, people get relations get breaking up, and you don't talk about. I'm telling your facts. I'm from New York. You don't know the sports. Psh, you
You're done out here. Yeah.
done. Yeah, I'm serious. Like the missus I'm with right now. She said, "I know that you're into sports. Yeah, I'm into sports, but yeah, yeah, you got to know some.
Yeah. And
You
I
got
think
to."
one thing in Canada I find is a lot of women, they don't even try to learn sports in the sisterhood. I'm talking about Canada specifically. But
Mm-hmm,
the worst part is when you're trying to watch a game and
mm-hmm.
someone's asking you, "Oh, what's a receiver? What's a forward?" They're trying to learn the game, but instead of doing their own research, you're in the middle of watching the game getting interrupted every 2 seconds. I don't like that.
Right.
I like to watch my game in peace and quiet. When that game comes on, my phone on do not disturb. You don't talk
Yeah.
to me for that couple of hours. That's my time, and that's my time for sports.
I wish a lot more women be like you, and that's what some women like. You hear Miss Melina here, y'all. You heard what she said. So if you want to get to know the man, sometimes you got to cut that phone off and learn the sport. But you cannot ask them other. Oh, let me matter of fact, this is the question I want to ask you. Are you into women's sports?
Yes, I love women's sports, but mostly I only watch ladies tennis and ladies
Okay.
soccer. I don't really
Oh.
watch ladies basketball. I haven't really got much into it.
Mm-hmm.
I watch the Olympics every now and then whenever I can, but I'm huge on ladies soccer and I'm huge
Mm-hmm.
on seeing people of color in women's soccer in England because that shit don't happen. That shit's rare. And
Mm-hmm.
see people of color come up there in a different country and be number one on that team sheet makes me really proud.
Okay. Questions, yours. Questions.
Yeah, if anyone
Questions.
has any questions for me or Brother Grander in the chat, hit them up.
Hit them up. Yeah. Now, why basketball? A women's sport, the women that don't appeal to you. Why?
Not really appeal to me. I guess I never really got time to, get into it or
Uh-huh.
really try to learn it. I played basketball, I played soccer, I played tennis, but I never really got interested in terms of watching it. I
Mm-hmm.
think there's not enough diversity in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I think there needs to be more in terms of recruiting and scouting. And I think
Right.
there needs to be more done in the drafts in terms of getting quality on the court. Sometimes the biggest names that you sign in women's basketball might not always be the hottest prospects on the court. And by hottest, I mean their performance. Sometimes smaller names can do you justice and do you better for your team. And I just want to see the women's game develop more before, I can really say, let me give this a chance. Maybe I'm being too harsh, Brother Granda, but I'm going to just say it how it is.
No. I don't think you're not being harsh because that's what I'm saying. I think that it should be a lot more. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna throw an idea to you. You should do this segment on your channel of that.
Basketball.
Yeah, I think it because
I
it's
don't
not
know.
it's not diverse that people
Grindr,
think
I'm
it
gonna be
is.
honest.
But
I've never
see if
covered ladies
right,
on
right,
town.
but if it comes from a man like me, oh you bullying, you don't understand. But if it comes from me,
Yeah.
I'm not. If it comes from you, they're like, whoa,
Or
what,
they'll hit you
really?
up with the you're being sexist and stuff like that.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
man.
So I think it's much more important that I think a lot more women of color should take on and state the racism that is really happening because there are racism in women's sports, y'all. I want you to understand that. I see it. Even I see it like when you play in the Goodwill games around the world. I'm talking about women.
I was gonna say Uncle Mace's favorite, Malika Andrews, but I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Yeah, I ready to cook. I'm gonna cook. No, I ain't gonna. I'm gonna leave that alone too. Cause I did my thing on that. Now, questions, please. Questions, please.
Yeah, if anyone
Um,
has any questions, just shoot us in the
just
chat.
shoot up now. Now, Miss Melina, can you give us one team in the English league that is upcoming that nobody that the media is not putting any notice on?
I'm gonna say Arsenal. We're number one in the league right now, but for the last 2 seasons, we didn't have European football. We were playing one game a week. We were written off, and we were really,
Mm-hmm.
really poor. We had 11 players on the pitch, like Ben Simmons, and they wouldn't turn up. We didn't have a defense. Our defense was easily able to get ripped apart from, and we're a team that other teams often, they treated us like a training session when they came to play us. It was easy for them to get 4, 5, 6 past us. And now to see us improve and get solid quality players from Manchester City to come and play for us, that speaks volumes. And this team is now top of the league. We've only lost 1 game in 10 so far this season. And I think we've improved a lot quality wise. And the manager, he's never had experience, Grinda, managing a big team.
Right.
He won us a trophy the
Right.
first year he managed our club, Mikel
Mhm.
Arteta. And he's underrated. He's often, the media shits on us and hates
Mhm.
us. And we're ready to take over. We're ready to scare other teams and ready to rise back to get
Mhm.
European football and to qualify for European football.
Got you. Now, you watch baseball, right?
I do watch baseball, but not so much at the moment. I do watch the Jays games. I go to the Jays games.
Okay.
And I haven't gone to one yet so far this season, but I look forward to going to them. And I am going to be going to the NBA games soon. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing the Raptors live in action. Hopefully, they don't disappoint me.
Yeah. I heard from May said this might be the last year they're gonna try to play in, and then they're gonna go back to 82 games.
Yeah, I heard that. I ain't happy with that.
You happy with that?
I don't think it's gonna work. I think a lot of people aren't going to be, happy with it. Why are you trying to change something that isn't broken? What's the point of it?
And that's what I didn't understand though too. And the play in and stuff like that. I feel like that you play 82 games, right? You get the best out of there and let it roll. The best out of three, the best out of five, 7 game series. Let's go. Because I know why. Because I get up to the NBA. I'm talking about the format of the 82
Yeah.
games. Because the NBA championship always falls on the week of my birthday, and it usually starts on June
Oh, yeah.
starts on June 4th. I love it. Bring it back. Get that play in and stuff. Because if a team went like 35-40, why you gotta be willing to play for the play in? Play in?
I know.
That don't make no sense to me.
What's the point of it?
Right. So for me it's like, all right, 35-40. So all right. You're not playing the playoffs. So get better.
For me, it's more like, you're waiting for another team after 85 games to say get better when you could do that in 30 games.
Okay. You got a question. Shout out to
Yeah.
Sunny Boxing Talk. He said, peace. Ask her she know who Clarissa Shields and where she was ranked her as far as a female boxer.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite American boxers. But I'm going to say this, after her defeat to Savannah, although no one really expected that to happen, I think what really matters and what really counts is her, hunger to want to become better, to take that defeat on the chin and by the scruff of her neck and say there's a different kind of fire in her belly and she wants to improve and she's not going to let it take her down. I think in her career overall, she has 12 wins and only 1 loss, if I'm not mistaken. This was her first defeat to Savannah. And I think it was a great performance. But she needs to take this as a learning opportunity to come back stronger.
Gotcha. Okay. I got you. Now, can you tell us the farm teams in the English league? And because I know there's a difference of the farm leagues in the English league and even in America. There's a difference. Can you tell us what's the difference?
The different type of leagues?
Yes.
Okay, so the Champions League is the highest one in Europe. That's where teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Chelsea play in. Now, there's some English teams. If you make it to the top 4, you qualify automatically for Champions League football, which is the highest tier you can make it to. Mm-hmm. It's like the Louis Vuitton of football. Now, when you go one step down, you get Europa League, which is, you're just playing within Europe.
Right.
And you're not really at the highest level. You're kind of at the second highest level. And that's where Arsenal, have always been known to qualify for. Arsenal have never got Champions League football. And we're trying to work our way there, but we never had the quality to do it. We've been in that before. We've been in it before many times, but we never won it. We do not have any Champions League trophies. Chelsea and Manchester City, Liverpool, they are teams that are working towards retaining a Champions League, and that's the highest trophy and recognition in the world. Now, below the English league, there are, smaller local community leagues for smaller teams that are, growing players, academy players, giving them time, giving them game time, and showing them you can develop. That's called League 1, League 2, and also below that, there's another league that's very, very small, and that's just like a community league, and that's the lowest of the lows. Now, just like in basketball, similar to the playoffs, there's promotion and there's relegation. If your team don't get enough points, you're getting eliminated from the English league, and you'll go down to something called the championship. Now, if your team performs well in the championship and gets enough points, you get promoted automatically to the English league. Now, if your team does well in the English league and makes it to the top four, you then qualify to the highest level, which is the Champions League. And that's the different leagues there is. There's also in Italy another league called Serie A. And that league is just for Italian football. They play a very different style of play, a
Mm-hmm.
different link up, and a different identity entirely. But it's not as serious as the Champions League or as the English Premier League.
Wow. See how it is, yo. See, that's what I asked her because there's degrees that you have to move up. See, in the United States, if you play high school
Yes.
or you play college, they figured you ready. No, no, no. That's why they go in the leagues. They get crushed.
It don't equate the same. It's not the same level.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's not. Let me see. Lasan
Yeah,
Judge
shout out
said,
Jefferson in the chat. Really appreciate the love and respect, brother.
thank you. He said, but England had versions of baseball 1A, 2A, 3A, then Major League. Yeah, that's she explained that.
Yeah.
She explained that, and that's the thing that I have problem with the United States. There's no channel. There's no growth. They figure like I'm United States. We got the best, and we gonna play these other countries, and they get squashed. Now,
You're not ready for it. Yeah.
yeah. Now I remember back in the late 1990s into 2000s. You know, I'm talking about women's sports now. I'm talking about the
Yes.
soccer teams of the USA. They did dominate in everything of women's soccer and stuff. But again, there's
Different levels. Yeah.
this is look. I want people to see this.
Yeah.
There's no degrees that you can move up, and that is the problem. That's the problem. You cannot treat soccer like them other sports. You can't do that.
Granted, Jefferson makes a great point in the chat. He says there can be undefeated but didn't get enough points. It has happened before. Damn right. Jefferson,
Yeah.
when you say 1A, 2A, 3A, that's part of the championship, which I already discussed. But there's some teams like Grand is saying they can be quality stars in America, but when they go to the English league, they can't handle the pressure, they can't handle the press, and they can't handle the intensity, and they crumble under pressure, and they end up failing as soccer players in England, and they get humiliated by their fans. The English fans for soccer are as hardcore as the fans in Brooklyn, in New York, for any sport. They take their soccer seriously and religiously.
And go more your point in the United States. If you look at different degrees, how you know different, it's still the same.
Damn right.
They not playing the best. But if you go to England, if you see they groom you to be the best. You hear what I'm saying? United States like this. I want to get to here. No,
So then I can sell you and make profit. Yeah.
right. And that's what it is. It's all about profit. But see, England, it's okay. This is the championship team, but you gotta go
Get your skill sets to get
with
higher
your
and
skill
higher.
set.
Damn
Now
right.
understand this though. You get here, you gotta perform. And I like
You gotta
that.
live up to the expectations of
Right.
that football club, of that soccer team. Oh, sorry. In England, they call it football. So if I say football, I apologize. I mean soccer.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. And also, Miss Willie, what did you see the future of women's sports?
I think women's sports in England and across the world is finally getting the recognition it deserves and it should have. I'm really scared though, Grinder, if I'm being honest,
Go ahead.
with performance enhancement drugs, as well as the topic that a lot of people are afraid to talk about. Now, Grinder, I'm bringing this up on your channel because you've talked about it before.
Okay.
This
Go ahead.
transgender woman competing in, the same as women who are, naturally women and not alter their gender to be a woman, competing on the same level, even though they have greater weight, greater muscle mass,
Mhm.
in their natural ability, it makes the game unfair. And it makes the game, unjust. And for me, I'm worried about the future in that sense But I'm excited, on the other hand, to see how well the women's sports overall can develop and how much respect finally women's talent will have, not only for our people of color, but across the world. It's going to be
Right.
its own sport.
I think that's a good point and everything, and I think that though I think Jefferson said she good for and ESPN can't afford it. No, she no. She ain't going to ESPN. I boycott that shit. No. She no, don't go to ESPN. She because she no. She's you know what they gonna say no, Miss Lee, no. You not right for ESPN. You're not down with the playbook. No. They don't want. They do not want Miss Lee.
I
No
don't ask
ESPN.
it the media. Yeah.
No, she's no. She's beautiful, but they don't want her. No. Them women, no. They don't want her. Miss Anderson, she go to the boss and listen here. She said, "You listen here."
Oh, you know what? For me, it's more talking to people I can relate to, building a community, and
Yeah.
everyone respecting one another, regardless of if you have a difference of opinion in sports. Show respect. At the end of the day, we have family out here, and shout out to everyone who tuned in tonight on the Underrated channel.
Thank you. And let me ask you this question: what's your favorite dish?
My favorite food has to be pan-seared salmon. I love that shit to the death of me, and I make it at home whenever I can with a nice salad. Those of you who don't know, last year I recently had a heart problem. I had a leaking valve in my heart, and I was really sick. So I try to eat more healthy, but I love me my desserts. I love me my sweets, and I bake. I bake cakes. I bake cupcakes. I love.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you know what
Small
I mean?
business at home. I hustle at home. I make my own cakes and cupcakes,
Right.
with strawberries coated with chocolate for orders. That's a little side hustle I got. But my favorite dish has to be pan-seared salmon with either a nice pasta or a nice salad. But I love me some chicken wings any time of day. Game day, I'll have chicken wings with extra spice. I like spicy food, but sometimes I like mild food. Um, and yeah.
Yeah. Let me read this first, and I'm gonna tell you. Commander said I don't want to bring down UD's channel, but I agree with you, Melina. Certain things just ain't right. Yeah, no, you're not bringing down the channel. It's true, cause I did talk about it too on my channel.
Yeah.
Of these transgenders, they need to get called the hell out. It's unfair. You running into women's on sports. I mean, I'm talking especially track and field, and you
Yeah,
winning.
that's
And
what is the worst. You notice it a lot more in track and field.
I'm on track and field,
Yeah.
and I'm talking about as you know, Mrs. Melina, and I'm glad you brought that up. Commander, no, you on point on what you're saying, but these women, young women's not saying nothing, and it's not right.
And the
You a
thing is,
man,
if a man was to say it,
being the man's race.
the thing is, Grinda, if you was to say it, they'd say, "Oh, you're being sexist. Oh, you're not agreeing
Yeah.
with the times. You're not with the times." I don't want to, talk too much about it because it's a topic nobody wants to discuss. Everybody covers it under the rug, brushes it under the rug. But on this channel, Grinda talks about the truth and grinds out the things people don't want to hear, people don't want to accept in the world.
Yeah. Brother Maurice, though, thanks for coming. I haven't seen you in a while. Keep it up. Keep it up. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you. Yeah, and I think that I'm going to talk more about that in the near future too on my channel.
That's a great topic. Just you gotta be careful. Unfortunately, YouTube
I know.
shadow
People,
banning channels.
this is a very sensitive society
Yeah,
that we in. It is. I remember Miss Melina's y'all. We always talking about women and racism. She said you need to talk more about that, and I tell her, I gotta be careful because
yeah,
they sensitive. It's because see, this is the thing that people have to understand what I'm saying, and I'm glad you're here, Miss Melina. Miss Melina, she did tell me about it. She encouraged me. I want you to talk about it, but I don't want you to get in trouble. Anything that deals with unnatural is wrong.
yes,
Let me repeat it again. Anything that deals with unnatural is wrong. And you gotta call it out because that's cheating.
Granted, it's like in boxing, right? I know you know
Yes.
boxing damn well. When athletes use steroids or performance enhancements drugs before going for a fight, whether to build muscle mass or take on their opponent, it's cheating and it's wrong. In the same way, this is the exact same thing, and the same consequences should take place.
When you have to change your genders for being another gender, that's cheating. Especially you are depriving the women that work very, very hard and do it the right way, and you let them know that
You
what you
ain't shit.
doing,
Yeah.
that's wrong. And I'm gonna say this on my channel because I don't have a problem saying that. Oh, Maurice Dell, he said he just subbed to her
Oh, thank
channel.
you so much, Maurice. I really
Thank you, thank you,
appreciate it. I
thank you
cover
so.
mostly soccer, and I am gonna be doing World Cup on Uncle Mace's channel, Mace Taggart. World Cup, I'll be doing the play-by-play on there.
Okay, okay, I got your thing in the private chat. All right, can you give us 5 more minutes?
Yes.
Okay, 5 more minutes. Listen, y'all. If you want questions, give it down right now. Cause other than that, I'm shutting it down 5 minutes. She gave us a lot more time than she should, and I appreciate it. So if you want to ask questions, drop it down right now. Cause if not, in 5 minutes, I'm shutting it down. Cause if also, Miss Melina, if you want to ask me a few more questions within the 5 minutes, you're more than welcome. So I'm just letting you know, get the question down right now. Cause 5 minutes, I'm shutting it down.
Greg,
Shutting it
I
down.
actually want to ask: have you traveled to any places in Europe? And if you have, where did you like, or where would you like to go in Europe?
I haven't traveled anywhere in Europe, but I would like to check out Amsterdam.
Amsterdam. That's a nice place.
That is always a treat. It's always a treat to me to Amsterdam. People like, what about England? No, I
Yeah,
like Amsterdam. I like Amsterdam. I like I liked the scenery and stuff. People nice, and when you go, so you can travel the water and stuff, the bridges and stuff. And
like
I
you
don't
need.
I don't smoke. I don't smoke, and I heard the
I was
ganja.
about to say that.
I heard the ganja is
I
real
was just
good in
about to
there.
say
Yeah,
the
I don't smoke or nothing, but
gravel,
I'm just saying you might see me on the corner like look have a camera that you know.
the gravel be A1 over there.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, Miss Commander Lou,
Yeah, thank you so
he
much,
posts his
Brother Lou.
channel. He posts his channel on it and everything. Again, anybody that wants to donate, please hit the cash app. It's $ capital JT 53000. Also, I do have PayPal. It's paypal.me / all in caps JT Black 53. You see it's on the screen right there. So what we're gonna do, Miss Melina, we ain't gonna wait the 5 minutes. We gonna ask you the last remarks, and you stay right there. I make my last remarks, and we're gonna close it out as a family. How you like that?
No problem, God. It was wonderful to have the time of day to chop it up with you.
That's it.
And it's a this was long overdue, but I want to say one thing before I shout out my own
Go
platform.
ahead. Go ahead.
Brother Grinda lets women on this channel, and so does Uncle Mace. Don't be scared if you're in the chat. Don't be intimidated. He gives everyone the chance to come on the panel, be
Appreciate that.
respectful, and you have your say. Grinda covers topics not just sports, but also life and the manosphere. And that's what I love. The other thing I want to say, everyone in the chat showing us love, my salute and my respects goes out to each and every one of you tonight. Everyone who turned up, everyone who liked the video and subscribed to Grinda's channel, my respects goes out to you.
And subscribe to Miss Melina.
Thank you very much.
She don't just talk about sports either. She talk about other things, and we gotta support her, and we gotta protect her. We gotta protect her, y'all. She's one of the few women that ride with the men. We gotta protect her. We cannot have nobody come going with it. No. On this channel, I protect women that have that have feminine. I do protect women, and she's one of them. I protect it. So ain't gonna be no nonsense. We
Yes.
gotta protect her. She's one of them bring light to everything. She's international. We gotta protect her, y'all. I mean it now. We gotta protect her. All right. I usually I say it like this though. Well, I'm gonna do it my way. Anybody that traveling to your destination, home, job, whatever it is, be careful out there because the climate out there is crazy and it's real. And we don't want nothing to happen to y'all.
Damn right.
We don't want nothing to happen to y'all. And on behalf of my channel, the underrated doctors, yours truly, the number one grinder. And also, Sonny got you. He gonna sub to you
Oh, thank
too.
you so much, Sonny.
So I want you to understand this. They said a man and a woman cannot coexist and get along. You see it right here. I I have done it others in the past too, women too. So it can happen. We could coexist with each other. I know about her feminine. She know about my masculinity. That's all what counts. No more, no less. I gotta say that because in this space, there's a lot of. I'm talking about the men. There are a lot of broken hands right here, and then this has gotta stop.
Yep.
And young women would put on these men's clothes, want to act like men. Shit gotta stop. This is real. This right here, right here. You see this? That's real right here. That's power right there. That's family that God wants to be. Get along right here. Respect that. On behalf of my channel, the underrated darkness, yours truly, the number one grinder. This is the last of the chop up with the lovely Miss Melina. Thank you so much to make time for us and everything.
No problem.
And don't let it be the last time that you come on here because I got something coming up real soon, and I want you to be part of that. It got something to do with women's sports, and I want her. So I'm gonna plug you in. I'm gonna plug you in and everything. And I want to thank you so much. Thank you so much. Shout out to Canada. And what's the town that your family from?
Toronto, Canada. I'm from Sri Lanka. My family's from Sri Lanka, a small island below India.
You're India. Okay. Shout out to them.
Just below India, small island. From there, but I was born and bred in Toronto. The sixth, hopefully the home of another chip for the Raptors. But I had a wonderful time here, and I want to thank everyone who respected me and asked me questions in the chat. Shout out to Jefferson as well for showing nothing but love, and everyone else in the chat. Really appreciate it for your support tonight.
Thank you
for both of us. Right.
Thank you so much, Miss Melina, and I will see you around. And good night, good night, good night. This is the last. Have a good night. This one is Ghost.